I try not to make a most important thing. Yeah, yeah. Because I think we all do get hung up that way. Yeah.
Is this why you do so many things? You paint,
Yeah.
you live in a certain way and so on?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You're very agreeable.
I'm very agreeable today. Yeah. Yeah.
The Vancouver scene has brought forth quite a lot of new poets recently.
Yeah. There's lots happening in Vancouver. Well, you know the piano that you heard on the tape with me? That's Jerry Walker. And like I'm often recording with Jerry and with Doug Geisman. We had an Epiphany concert in St. Anselm's Church.
The Poets Market.
Yeah, the Poets Market. Oh, yeah. We had 3,000 people at the Poets Market, 200 poets, you know.
200?
We all read with projections, and we sold our broadsheets.
It was like beautiful. Poet, you know?
Yeah, it was
it's
beautiful.
Just the way it is.
Yeah.
Well, what is there in Vancouver that is so productive of
I don't
poets?
know, but it's really happening now.
There's a community in Vancouver, which there isn't here. You know?
And you're from Vancouver, and
At one
I
time.
was from Vancouver at one time, too.
We're all Vancouver.
I think it's time for
The
Barry
whole
to
world
read a
is,
poem.
yeah.
You have one which is not what you'd call a sound poem, Barry.
Well, just, no. It's much more in a, shall we say, a traditional sort of bag. The thing was, and the reason that I got into concrete was I always felt kind of that a lot of poets lied, that they said one thing in their poetry, and then you'd talk to them and they were a entirely different way. And I wanted to get to the things behind the words, you know? So that I feel that I can say much more what I feel in my poetry now. It's called Night. Night, night, the head aches to be held. What the hands show, beginnings, and that long ago that the tongue can't say, remember. Cities by the sea, always to name the poem a gift, given as the heart sees fit, to the shadows around me, friends, or family, familiar though they should be, aren't. Months to find the sense for words, spaces forming from the inside. Bring the present in from the sea, past as the tides pass under me, or over your eyes as shadow falls, and you can't see the sun. Over and done, the rhythm, sounds of sounds, falling on the sand, always the words behind that are not heard. The last poem, always defined as present. Later there will be voices to define the past. Walk by the sea, lake, any body the water holds to. Call your own your own. Discover the world is clover your head returns to, cleverer than before. Each time to define gives arrows for the heart, clover on the sea tide. This morning, no trace of, under the ice, winter city, clover on the bridal gown. Before the altar, stand now, your fingers reach for her hair. Awake, frozen, sea pull at your feet, the land you hold to. The world is over you made for your head. Make for the voice your heart returns through. Freedom, this side of the mind.
Is there any real point in trying to affix a label to a kind of poetry, like concrete poetry, sound poetry?
Well, there's an Englishman just called it border blur, meaning it's just, it's in all the areas and crossing over into all the arts. You use advanced scientific technology, you use painting, you use everything, like the things that Bill's doing at the sound gallery with strobe lights and as many speakers as possible, all these things.
Yeah.
And you are also working with materials too that are physical, like your poem shelf, and things that look more like drawings than poems.
Well, the thing is, you can make a poem object, something that you kind of create with words that a person can touch. It's like they're actually touching the shape of words, which has a specific sensation to it.
Yeah. Like border blur is a really good lead into the thing, because like that's what's happening, trying to blur the borders, so things don't happen like this hassle with Larry, that border, and with these kind of poems like Nichol and I write, and thousands are writing now, they're not based on a sentence, and they're not based on a particular syndrome,
Now, Barry, you've been working perhaps even more extensively than Bill with tape.
Don't know if more extensively, but quite a bit.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you been doing very much
Well, I've been
yourself,
doing a lot
or
with
do you
tape,
work
but it's
with-
mostly like Jerry or Doug or Mike Coots or Martina or somebody doing the tape. I'm not too much into doing the tape myself yet.
But you
gotta tape.
you yourself do work
Yeah.
pretty closely with it. Is this just extending yourself, or is it more connected with leaving the meaning out of the word, the assigned
It's
meaning?
kind of giving the voice a different context in which to be heard, like giving it an electronic context and seeing what happens to it. I do have this one tape here, which is a section from Scrapture's fifth sequence, which is like a long prose and comic strip and concrete thing, and this is a section from it.
Down, da da dee, down, da da dee, down, down, down,
You all
Sure is
seem-
groovy.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
You
want to
all-
live together, everybody. Laugh some. Yeah.
You seem, both of you, to be getting very close to song.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like once you get out of the sentence, it starts to be song often. You know, like it just does come that way. Yeah. Yeah.
Learn guitar. That's why so many poets actually are close
I
to
see.
rock and roll, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. Oh, Mick Jagger's a great poet. Yeah. Dylan. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
where do you read in Vancouver?
Well, in Vancouver, I read at the Sound Gallery. Well, we've been doing stuff at the Sound Gallery for a long time. Like, it's a cooperative thing there, you know? There's projections and sound and films and dancing and, like, everything. A fire reader, El Diablo, yeah, did his trip with me when I was reading at the Contemporary Arts Festival last week back in Vancouver. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I mean, he
we did that
he
in the
ate
church,
fire
too.
while
Yeah.
you
Yeah, like he
sang,
ate fire, you know?
while you gave your
Throws
support.
gasoline in his mouth and great balls of fire all through the church. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you read at this?
I did once
place?
last summer at the Advanced Mattress. It's the thing about Vancouver is the community thing, which Toronto doesn't have. And if you like that sort of thing, it's very nice. I haven't found it necessary myself.
You seen Bill Reed?
Oh yeah, very fine reader.
Bailey dances, Bailey dances, Bailey dances, running dances, running dances, running dances. Fields of dances, fields of dances, fields of dances, loving, loving fields of dances up the green valley, up the green valley, fields of dances ringing, 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 ringing. Ringing, ringing, feel, here come you jolly, here come you jolly, basket, basket dances, handing, handing, handing dances, handing Bailey, Bailey dances. Bailey